Welcome back to Sawyer's Farm. I'm Jacob. Today we're going to be taking you along building our pig pen. We're going to be getting our pigs here very soon. I think while we're filming this will be the next day. We don't know if we'll put the pigs in this video, but we're going to take you along with the pen. This is where it's going to be at, this pond, okay? And we'll explain a little bit more later whenever we get into actually putting up the fence and everything. We're going to be, we did this exact same setup last year on our other pond, worked perfectly fine. We're going to do a little bit of difference with the fencing. I've seen some other YouTubers do it and I really kind of liked it, and so I think we're going to kind of use that, and it'll probably help us out a lot during this year. But right now I'm going to have to mow around the pond so we can put our fencing up. So just stay tuned and we'll show you exactly what we're going to be doing. Alright, so the fencing that we are going to be using today is Premier 1. If you guys have seen our previous videos, we've kind of used this. We used it last year in our other pond. We only had to use one roll. These are 164 foot and they're, I believe, 48 inches tall. It's actually a poultry netting, but you can use it for pigs. We used it last year and we talked to the company on the phone about using it for pigs, and there are some things you have to consider that we will show you once we set it up. If you are going to use this for pigs, there are some things that they told us, and we have seen it, using this for pigs. It's not a very big deal, but there's just a little bit more kind of maintenance that you might have to do. But so right now, I believe 3 of these rolls are 164 foot. It should do around this whole entire pond. And the reasoning we're doing around the pond is this pond right here. We have 2 ponds on our property. This is the biggest one, and it looks really nice whenever it's full, but guys, it doesn't hold water very well. Right now it's got some water in it because it's been raining a decent amount, but it drains all the time, and I want the pond to hold water a lot better, so I want to stock fish in it. That's kind of like my goal. And one of our friends who used to raise pigs, they said put them in the pond and they will seal it up for you. That's just what pigs do. We did it to our last pond. We'll put an iCard up there showing you kind of what our setup was over there, and I will say this, it is hold water a lot better than previous years. We have had a lot of rain. It's never been dry since then. We have had a lot of rain, but I'm really curious to see on the summer, you know, maybe we don't get a lot of rain. I want to see how it does, but so far it's done way better than previous years with a lot of rain. It usually would dry out in like 2 weeks. So right now we're going to set this up, and then we'll show you some other stuff that we're kind of going to modify this year than last year. But right now we're going to try to get this all situated and make sure everything's all tidied up. All right, so as y'all can see, we got the Premier One fencing up. We actually have a decent amount of extra, probably about 40 or 50 feet over here, and we're probably gonna mow this area and just kind of come around and hook it back on. We'll kind of show you when it's completely done. But I just kind of want to talk to you a little bit about our setup, okay? Like we said before, we are putting them in this pond because it is not holding water, and pigs will do that. They pack it down. I'm going to try to drain this out a little bit so they have more area that they can pack down. And guys, I'm telling you, it works, and they have just a big mud hole to play in, and that's exactly what a pig wants. And this is a pretty good sized pen for pigs. We are raising 6 pigs, and that is the most we have ever raised right now, but we're raising them for a lot of families that are wanting some fresh pork. And so that's why we're trying to get a bigger pen here, because there's going to be a lot more. But another thing that we're going to do on this fencing, like I told you, is going to be a little bit different than last year, because last year we just made a big circle. What we're doing this year, as you can see right here, we got a hog panel. This is just your typical hog panel. It's about 2.5 feet tall-ish, probably more like 2 feet, and it gets smaller at the end. And if y'all don't watch Keeping It Dutch, you probably do if you're watching our channel, but we saw his pig setup, and he's right. That's probably the best setup you can have when it comes to the water and the feed. The feeder is on the outside. Take his advice, just like I'm telling you now, because this is our 3rd year raising hogs, and they tear up almost everything. So when I saw him have his feeder on the outside, I was like, I gotta have that. But when I was thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna have that with our electric fencing, so I thought, let's just buy one hog panel, and we're just gonna do the exact same thing, because it's gonna save us a lot of time and a lot of headaches. And honestly, we're not gonna have to get in the pen very often, just maybe few and far between. And having that many pigs, I don't really want to get in there a lot of times, because when they start getting big, they can push you around. Even my size, Alex definitely wouldn't be getting in the pen for sure. So that's one of the reasons why we're going to be doing this hog panel. So we're going to put this on real quick, and then I'll show you some shelters and stuff that they're going to have while they're in here. Try to somewhat dry fit it. Try to get it somewhat straight. All right, so we got the cattle panel up. We got our Premier One IntelliShock. This is a 120. I believe this will do 164 strands of what we're using here, 10 of them. We're using 3, so it should be plenty for it. And we got it connected all the way to itself. That helps a lot. You can use these disconnected. They don't have to be a complete circle. We have done it. Now, if you're getting out far, depending on how much of a shock you got, that could probably have a factor in it. But in our other one, we split it and it worked fine. So we got our ground rod in here. This is a 3-foot ground rod. We have a smaller one, but since we're running 3 strands, we're thinking let's give it as much as it can get, and we have it. So we got that hooked up. We got everything hooked up. We're gonna turn this bad boy on, and we're gonna do a test. So face this south, turned on. We got the Premier One tester, or use your hand if you want to do that, but I'm not going to do that. Turn it on. So okay, we're checking. It is hitting at 8 kilovolts. I'm not sure, I'm not an electrician, but that's a max, so that's good. That's a good hit. We'll go around and we'll just check all the way around to make sure it's hitting good all the way around. If it's not, we'll figure out what's wrong with it. All right, so another thing that we're going to be using on this fence are these support posts, also from Premier One. If you got any sags, just how like this one is, you just pull it up here and you stick it in the ground, and that holds it up so it's a nice, straight. And when it sags like this, it's hitting the ground like that, it can actually kind of short it out a little more where you're not going to get as much of a hit on it. So you want to make sure you got that off the ground as much as possible, and these help on corners and things like that. So we got ordered a couple extra of these for this new pig pen we got. But guys, I think that's going to wrap up our video today. We'll go through the water, and we got a feeder that we're going to order for the pigs. Right now we're just going to feed them with some little totes, and we'll show you the shelters a little more. You can probably see them in the background, but we're just going to wrap it up today. We actually got to go live, and we're going to watch some other people go live, and we got to eat some dinner. So as always, subscribe to our channel if you like our channel and you like this type of content. Hit that bell for notifications, notifies you of new videos. You got any questions about this stuff that we're using, or kind of how to raise hogs? This is our 3rd year raising them, so we do know a little bit, but we are definitely not experts by far. So put down in the comments you got questions or any advice. And guys, as always, take care and God bless. Some type of plastic, but they're support posts you stick around. If you got, say right here, this is kind of sagging just a little bit, stick this in there. Just got shot.
I was about to say,
why didn't you tell me? Gosh dang.